Hi everyone and welcome back. This is the third video that I'm recording to hopefully help make this transition a little smoother for everybody. So as you can see, I am here on my dashboard in ConnectBLC. Mine probably looks different than yours. I have moved my widgets around. I have added widgets, which are these tiles. You can click and drag them. This video is going to be very short because there is not much to cover under the settings default section that has not already been covered under the first two videos. But to get to the settings, you're going to click this icon in the top right corner. At this point, we are now at video 3, so you should absolutely have a photo up here. If not, it is your initials. You're going to click down to settings, which is the second to the bottom option. And we've already covered most of the items under personal info. There are some additional that I did not cover. I recommend you just get in there and kind of tinker with it. They are self-explanatory. And we've covered quite a few of the My Defaults options. We're going to cover just a couple more here. So under Client Portal Defaults, if you click into here, this is just going to appear next to any service providers that you may recommend. Inside of the client portal, you can now recommend service providers such as, lenders, inspectors, electricians, plumbers, things of that nature. You can write the message and then click save. I don't believe I have changed this. No, I'm pretty sure this is the default message. So I'm just going to hit cancel. If I wanted to go back to the default message, I could also just click this, which it didn't change. So I made no changes. I'm just going to hit cancel. All you're doing there is updating the message that appears above the recommended service providers. The next option is the Add Edit Defaults. So this should automatically be checked to automatically enable drop-down menus to appear. Field defaults, you actually can't even change anything here, so I'm thinking that's something they're working on. And then listing expiration notification. So I mentioned in a previous video, any automatic listings are going to expire now after 180 days. That is the maximum that you can set for the expiration. Technically, if you don't change it, they could expire sooner. But this feature is going to notify me 4 days before expiration, because that's what I've checked, of a search expiring, so that I can go in and push that expiration date out another 180 days. I find that if I do it 1 or 2 days beforehand, I might not actually get it done. And if I do it 10 or 9 or 8 or 7 days beforehand, I might actually just end up deleting the email notification and completely forgetting about the search. So 4 days, I figure, is a nice little sweet spot. So under the Add Edit Defaults, all you are doing is making sure that this is checked and deciding how many days before a search expires do you want to receive an email notification. Again, the purpose of the email notification is for you to go in and further extend that auto search expiration date. All right, so that was Add Edit. Manage CMA stationery. I have not done anything in here yet. You can add stationery and tinker with it, but I, again, personally have not. This is something where I would recommend you just work on your own or you work with your broker. Now, I clicked the back button and it did take me into, all of these different reports and things. Not really what I want, so I'm going to go back to the settings, which was underneath my icon in the top right corner. Enable search page quick tour. You can enable or disable. That is the pop-up that appears when you first click into the search. So it's trying to show you the different features. It's just a guided tour of how to use the search function. I do not need that. I am not going to enable it again, but if you needed to, you could turn it back on. Display settings, we covered that under video 1. That is just how things are going to appear to you. If you did not see video 1, I recommend you go back. There are a couple of highlights in that video that are probably going to make your life a little bit easier. So go ahead, spend the 12, 13 minutes, whatever it is, and watch that video. Modifying your homepage layout, and the next one, which is resetting your homepage layout. So these two kind of go hand in hand. If you wanted to add or subtract, add or remove or change the order of these widgets, you could. So you can drag them wherever you want them to be. You can choose not to use them. So let's say I didn't want my client messages to show up anymore. Now it's down here. If I wanted to add it back, I can hit the plus sign, and I'm going to put it back where it was because I've already set this up the way I like it. In my personal opinion, you do want to keep your client activity here in the middle with nothing under it because it can get very long, extremely long, because it's going to show you every listing that you send to a client, whether they've favorited it, whether they've logged in, whether they've written you a comment on it. So I just recommend you put this one in the middle and you don't put anything underneath it. Bulletins, this is the only one that actually does have some rules around it. So bulletins, just like in the previous system, has to be at the top. It can be at the top of any of these 3 columns, but it does have to be at the top. And you can see that it is not going to allow me to get rid of it. So that is what I do. I personally find that the market activity and the hot sheets are almost the exact same thing. So I will probably never use hot sheets. I'm going to go ahead and remove that one and save my changes. The reason I say that market activity and hot sheets are the same is you're going to see right here, I can go back a set number of days. So if I want to go back 7 days and see all of the new listings, expired listings, I'm not sure what hot list is, but that's there. Sold, pending, open houses, or tours within this property type. That's basically what the hot sheet was doing as well. So the hot sheet and the market activity are almost the exact same thing. Looking at this, I'm not really sure that that makes sense, that there's only 3 expired listings for all of residential real estate in the last 7 days. So there may be some sort of glitch there, but I don't use this every day anyways. And if you weren't using it before, you're not really missing out on anything. If you were using it before, maybe it's a feature they're working on. I have not personally submitted a ticket on this, so you may want to submit a ticket on it. Going back into our settings just to see if there are any other defaults that we need to tinker with. Oh, the last thing. So creating a lead capture form. This link, and on our dashboard, if we go back here, the widget that's titled Leads Inbox, there's a link here to also create that lead capture form. So your leads have the functionality, your clients, to refer you to other people directly through their web portal that you create for them. This is just another form that you could put in your email signature, on your website, maybe somewhere on social media, to gather information from a lead. So to give you an idea of what that looks like, let's say preview. So enter this information and click submit to contact me. It's requiring that they enter a name. It is requiring that they enter an email. Notice it is not required that they enter a mobile phone number. I do know that that is a feature that they are working on making a requirement. They could put a phone or a home phone in. Why are they reaching out to you? Provide any details, and then of course put in the verification code. So it is just a way to capture leads if you wanted to use the feature. If you do not want to use this feature, you do not have to. You'll notice I am not using it, so you really don't have to. If you wanted to, so that was the simple link that only had a couple options. Notice I asked for like spouse and secondary email, office phone, all of that. If I wanted to preview that link, I would click this one under advanced form, preview, and it's gathering additional information. Again, it's just an option if you want to use it. You do not have to use it. I personally choose not to use it, at least at this time, but it is available to you. When those leads do put their information in, the whole point in the system is that their info is going to populate here in your leads inbox so that you will see that. I would assume that you're also going to get an email notification. But again, I have not used this feature, so I can't really say for sure that that is the case. That is rounding out the end of the settings section. We've gone through just about everything here. If you have a broker owner account, you're going to have additional options right here under the customer support section. I think it's called My Company. I do not have that. I am merely an agent, but if you do have that, of course, tinker with those. I know there's a couple of different things that you can do, such as adding your logo, changing the color of this bar, things along those lines. Just really personalizing it. So that is all of the settings for this video. The next video is going to jump into setting up those defaults for searches, search results, things along those lines. Hopefully, again, this is helpful. If you have any questions, comments, need any assistance, feel free to reach out.